Hi, thanks for watching How to Prepare for the Initial FAB Meeting by examining the data to look for trends and consensus. Doing so before the meeting will help to ensure an efficient and effective meeting. First, we'll go into the facilitator tools, sign in, click on the correct case number, and then access the dashboard. Again, you want to make sure that you're selecting the correct case number, and you'll see this data pre-populated for you. So based on the surveys, the first set of data that you'll see are the team responses. This shows you that one family response was recorded and 4 staff responses were recorded. Our team does show consensus in the rationale for engaging in the FAB process. So that's the first screen here, the first tab. If you move over to the next tab, this will show you the priority areas for the student based on family and staff responses. The inclusion overview, or the factors of effective inclusion based on the family and staff responses, and then their perceived barriers for the student. It's important to look at this overview to get an idea of whether or not your team has consensus. If there is not consensus within these topics, you'll want to make sure that you have some guiding questions lined up for the meeting in order to have that conversation. The next set of data you'll see is the parent responses. You want to make sure and select the parent from the drop-down menu. When you do that, or once you do that, you'll see their responses pre-populated. You'll see that they're broken down again by these various tabs on the top: the inclusion details, priority details, barrier details, accessibility, and then instruction details. So looking at all this will give you a good idea of each response in these areas from the family. The top right shows you all the student responses. In our example, our student did respond. That might not always be the case, but in our example, the student was able to participate and responded to the survey. The last data set you'll see here are the staff responses. These questions, again, pulled from the surveys, will just ask the staff to consider if they've had previous meetings, sort of a background of the discussion they may or may not have had with the family. Then moving into, again, the tabs, just like you saw over here in the family responses, you'll see priority details, barrier details, accessibility details, and instruction details. So you can look at that from each staff member's perspective. One thing I did want to point out is under the priority details, make sure sometimes not all the responses fit on one page, so you make sure that you go to each page in case there's more information, as there is in our example here. So these are the 4 data sets that you will see if everybody has responded to the surveys. Again, it's very important to ensure that you have group consensus, which you can get an idea for when you look over here at the team responses, which is a summary of all the surveys. When you look at this data in terms of the action plan, you'll see that the data has been pulled over into the action plan, but you will have to select these boxes under engagement, action, expression, representation. You're going to co-construct the action plan during the meeting with the family, or with the family and the team. But to save time, you could put the strengths within the current environment, which will be drawn from the FAB survey data already. You can pre-populate that with some of the information you're already able to pull, and then during the meeting you can add to it. But this might just save you some time when you're actually in the meeting. And that's it. Thank you for watching How to Prepare for the Initial Meeting.